Hi you guys! I'm so excited for today's video because it is one of my favorites to do, which is a chit-chat sit-down style. It's like a tongue twister, it's hard to say. Sit-down chit-chat style, chit-chat. And it sounds so weird after a while. If you say it too many times in your head or out loud, it just sounds weird. But anyway, it's been a while since I've done one, and I have some updates. So let's rewind and freeze. Let's go back in time. Let me catch you guys up. So basically, a little synopsis, the Cliff Notes version, is I moved out October of 2023 out of my parents' house and into my first apartment, which I'm still in. I've been in here for now over a year. Around that time was when I started dating again after my long-term relationship ended. And so I've been dating, trying to find the guy of my dreams, my man, for over a year. And it can be very disheartening and very depressing if you think about it long enough. And I'm still single. I'm here, single, sitting down in front of you, single. And my boyfriend Hunter, a little bit about our story. He's from Alaska. He moved back to Alaska in December after he graduated from college. We had only known each other for barely over a month by the time he moved back. So we tried the long distance thing and it just didn't work. And plus, he's not sure if he wants kids and I can't commit to that. He can't commit to that. And I can't commit to living in Alaska. I'll be so far away from everything that I knew, from everything that I love, and my parents would be hard to see, and it'd be hard to see my brothers, my sisters. It would be very difficult. It would be very different. It could be an adventure, but I can't risk that. I don't know. I want to stay in the lower 48 states, if that makes sense. So we did not work. He's a great guy, and now I have my standards set high. Because of Hunter, he encouraged me, he influenced me to set my standards high because he was an angel of a person. He was a saint. He was such a good, sweet person, a really good guy. And I do grieve my person a little bit. I grieve that person who I really cared about. And so by the time we had ended things, which was just yesterday, we had talked about it the week before, but then we wanted to give it a month, and then I turned around and just said, I can't commit to another month. Like, I have my mind made up. My answer is no, and I can't continue in this relationship, and so I need to just say no now. So I ended things earlier than we had planned. We were like almost planning to end, if that makes sense. We were just hoping that the answer would change, but it wouldn't, and it didn't. And so I do grieve that a little bit. I do grieve what we could have been, what we could have had, but I don't regret anything, and he doesn't either. I asked him, I was like, do you regret anything? And he says no, because for him it's been so healthy and so good. And that's what I noticed too. Like, he's the first person who I genuinely felt attracted to, but not a level of toxicity, anyway, towards it. Like, I loved him a lot, even though I knew him for like 3 months. I loved him a lot, but I was so comfortable in it, and I was okay if we didn't work out. I cried a little bit on the phone, but I haven't cried since, and I can move on. I can get past that, and I don't regret anything because he taught me a lot. And I just know I cannot, I can't stutter, I can't say it, settle. I can't settle. I really can't, and I shouldn't. And Hunter taught me that I will find my person, and we will be so aligned, and it will be so amazing. It was already really good. We weren't unhealthy at all, and I noticed with Hunter, I didn't latch onto him as if I were a leech. Like, I didn't obsess over him. I wasn't crazy about him. Like, you can be crazy about someone in love, but I'm talking like unhealthy. I wasn't at the level of unhealthy that it was with other previous partners. And I've been dating for now over a year, and it has been really, really hard. And I talked to my sister. Well, she sent me a text. I was asking for some advice, and she sent me a text, and she just told me, try it, just 2 months, no dating, and then reevaluate and reflect. And I was like, you're so right, because before I was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta get back on the dating apps, but I'm not going to, and I'm waiting, and I'm trying to be wise and smart about this, and just do what's good for me, and give myself a little bit of a breather, and some room to just be, and we'll see what happens. So just some thoughts. I'm going to kind of go all over the place, but dating life overall, let's talk. It's been rough. I want to go back to the reflection. Let's go reflect on something. Someone ghosted me over the summer, and we were together for 2 months or so, I thought, but then he ghosted me. And I just have a little phrase, if you're going to ghost someone, tell them first. And I say that as a joke because that doesn't make sense. The whole point of ghosting is to not communicate. Like, you're done with the communication, the conversation has died. But if you're going to ghost somebody, tell them. Like, instead of ghosting, just tell the person. Tell the person how you feel. how you feel. It could be scary, it could be very intimidating, but it's fair to you and the person to have that closure there, to have a reason behind it, or else this person is going to guess, where are you, what happened to you, are you guys okay? Like, they're just going to be so conflicted and so hurt. It's better to hurt somebody with the truth than to hurt them by ghosting. So that's what I say. When I met my ex, I was weak. I was not strong in myself. And my mom told me in this particular relationship, it was the long-term one that I've been talking about in the past, she was like, you need to be strong in yourself, and right now is not a good time for you to be dating. You're not strong enough in yourself. And I was hurt by that. I was like, I would like to think I'm pretty confident, pretty strong, but really at that time I wasn't. And a part of why I believe he picked me, my ex picked me, that partner at that time picked me, was because I was so like frail inside. Like, I'm pretty frail on the outside too, but like on the inside especially, I was just very vulnerable. And I think I was valuable, and that's why he picked me. Like, he saw some good in me, but he kind of tore me down and he kind of broke me apart in a way. And I wasn't strong in myself. I didn't stand up for myself. We were doomed from the start. So that was referring back to that same ex. We just didn't work. And he made me feel like I was a lot and too much. What a user and a loser. He asked if I was manic. That's very blunt, but okay, I can explain. We were doomed from the start. So if you're doing things quietly, or you're hiding things or sweeping things under the rug, that's probably not a good idea. You shouldn't be saying or doing those things. And I was very quiet about him and I because I knew my parents wouldn't approve. So it was a very immature, juvenile relationship, I think, where we were doomed from the start. He made me feel like I was a lot. Pronunciate. He made me feel like I was a lot and too much. Like, he would ask if I was manic, and I kind of use the word user and a loser. Like, why would somebody who I love and care about and who loves and cares about me in return, why would they ask if I was manic? I hadn't seen him for a year. At that time, in this particular story, I hadn't seen him for a year. So I was talking really fast. I was really excited. I was trying to catch him up. And he was like, are you manic? I knew he meant it. He wasn't saying that as a joke. If that was a joke, I could pass it. Like, he'd have a pass. But the fact that he was serious and very judgmental and very critical over my personality, that was when it really hurt. My first ex wasn't all bad. I just only saw the good and missed the bad. So I think there's good to most every person. There's a few who are not, like Hitler. But there are a few people who I think have a lot of bad in them, but they do still have good traits. My first ex-boyfriend was very abusive, like constant sex and just very using of me. I don't know. I remember only seeing good in him and never red flags. I didn't know what red flags were. I didn't know what to look out for. I couldn't compare that to anything because he was my first everything. So that was hard. I made the mistake of obsessing over him. Yes, I would obsess over my exes. I think I've really been in love, like truly, I would say 3 times. I say 3.5. I want to say 3.5 because it could have been with somebody else, but it wasn't strong or passionate or deep at all, I feel like. So I would say probably 3 people who I've like actually loved, like truly. When a person shows who they are, believe them. That's either something I heard from someone or a quote that's already out there. But it's so very true. How real is that? When a person shows you who they are, believe them. If they're not a good person, you don't get good vibes, you don't feel good about it, you don't feel good around them, then that means you need to get out. Like, they are not good. They're showing you who they are. You can see them by their actions. You know how they act. You know how they are. And you know what you can be, and you can be away from them. So that's important. He said he wanted me happy and healthy, but he just didn't get my health and had me nearly denying it and almost dying because of it. So I got really, really sick in 2017 and really, really sick again in 2023 before I moved out. And when I was with that person, they were like, it's technically all in your head. Like, you're not really diagnosed with all these things. You don't really have all of these things. You just have anxiety. You just have to face it. And I believed him. I was very naive and very immature and very miserable in myself. And so I went off meds and I got really, really sick. And I'm bipolar. I have anxiety. I had insomnia. I need meds to sleep. I need meds to do my everyday. And he didn't believe me, so I got really sick and I almost died. I almost had a tube down my throat. I was not able to keep anything down. I was throwing up constantly, and I almost died. And I vowed to never let someone else do that to me again. I don't think that same scenario can ever happen again because it's so extreme and so random and so calculated. But I'm talking like I will never let somebody manipulate me and control me and defy my mind and my power. Never, ever again. So just a few more thoughts here. He knew I'd say yes because I still had feelings. How cool is that? So this time last year, last February of 2024, I did see this same ex again, the really controlling one. And he does have good traits. It's just there's too much there that's red flags where I can't be in that zone. I can't be in that same mindset to let him in. He knew I would say yes. He wanted a booty call, and I knew it, but at the same time I didn't. I didn't want to know it. I didn't want to believe it. And he was asking if I wanted to hang out. And it was like 9 p.m. at night. He was a half hour away. He was on a trip for work. And I was like, okay, sure. Because my heart was still on my sleeve. And my heart was still so big for him. Like my heart was designed at the time for him. And I remember how much that night meant to me, but how much it didn't mean to him. If I had to guess, I'm assuming. He broke my heart and he crushed my soul and dreams. He did break my heart and he did crush my soul and my dreams. But I'm not going to let that determine the rest of my life. I'm not going to let that define my existence and my future. And especially when it comes to your partner. I have that effect on men. They get soft and gay. So this is funny. I really think I do. Like, I soften people, I think. A lot of girls hate me, but a lot of guys get soft around me, like very sweet and gentle. But girls, I've noticed, I don't know if they're intimidated by me. I'm not intimidating. I'm a soft person. I just get ran over. I'm pretty shy. Like, I love talking. I love being friendly, but I'm still kind of that inner quiet person where I'm soft-spoken. And I do have an effect on men. I've noticed, like, they do get soft and kind of gay around me. Like, gay as in, like, this isn't anti-gay at all, because I have gay friends. I have bi friends. But I'm talking, like, how a gay man will act. Like, he acts, not always, but he can be, like, very flamboyant and girlish and kind of light. And I think that really extended to this one ex of mine who I'm thinking of last year. And he seemed gay around me. It was weird. I can't explain it. So, okay, I feel like a failure because I'm not married by now. I'm 27 and there's no ring. I work in elementary school and I look for rings. My eyes, they will seek them out. They try to look and scout for them. And almost all these girls are wearing rings. We have a lot of the college students come in, the BYUI college students come in, and they do their practicums, they work in the classrooms, whatever. I've done it before. It's really cool. But it bothers me because so many of them are married, and I'm like, when is it my turn? What about me? And I'm going to be honest, I'm jealous and envious. I want that. And I need that. I crave that at this point. I want a family. I'm 27. I'm 30 in 3 years. And I want a family by then. Not my whole family, but I want to be starting a family at age 30. And I can't let people be in my way of that. And I don't know if I need to move to a different town. I don't know if I need to date a larger pool. I'm just glad that I ended things with Hunter because it sounds like he doesn't want kids and his mind won't be budged and I won't sway him. That's on him. That's his choice. So he talked about kids and interests. Another factor to how we broke up was our interests don't really align. Like, he likes anime, he likes gaming, he likes creative artsy stuff in those aspects. I like different creative artsy stuff in other areas. And so I can't really relate to him. Sometimes the conversation would run dry. Sometimes I would be talking and talking, but I'm not getting feedback back, you know? So I just feel very resolved and relieved after this relationship ended. As hard as it was, it just, to me, it's in the right direction. I'm going in the right direction. Sorry if I'm stammering a lot. I've had a stutter for like my whole life, and sometimes it goes like this. Like, sometimes you'll never hear it for days, and then that's all you hear for a while. But no attention is better than bad attention. That's so true. Do not dip down your standards. Do not non-okay behavior. You need to get rid of bad attention. If it is bad for you, it's bad for you, and that's enough to know that you don't deserve that in your life. If you know it's not going to work, don't continue it. And that was with Hunter. Like, he said, let's wait another month. That was my original plan. I was like, okay, I know we have concerns, let's wait a month. But then I changed that plan and I broke up with him because I was like, Why are we waiting another month if we have the answer here? The answer here before us is we're not going to work. I don't think it's wise to continue if my answer won't change. Exactly. And I felt at a dead end. It was like either a crossroads or a dead end. And I don't know which. It could have worked, but it probably would have been hard. And I would have to sacrifice my life and my everyday. I would be in a new state, way far away, like cross country, but up north in Alaska. And I just don't know if it would have worked. Does it make me less than because I'm a 27-year-old single female? I thought about that. I was like, does it make me less than because I'm single in this town, especially, which is so marriage driven and a focus on the family? I do feel a little awkward and out of place here, but this is my good temporary, and this doesn't have to be my permanent. This is not my forever. So it's interesting because, just a few thoughts for advice. Haley, my sister, versus Dakota, my brother, and also my dad. So the boys, Dakota and my dad, they said, I was talking to them about it before I broke up with Hunter, but I was planning on it and everything. I had to calculate it because I had to plan it right. And I wanted to be smart about it, and I wanted to get other perspectives and thoughts. So they said to wait like 2 weeks and reevaluate and then start dating again. Haley said to wait for 2 months. So that's very interesting and very counter from each other. But that's interesting too. And then Frogs and Prince, a coworker at the daycare that I used to work at last year, she just married somebody the other month, a while ago, and it's interesting, his name is Hunter. I've seen a lot of Hunters in my life at this point in my life, and I think it's a symbol that I'm in the right direction. My friend Connie, she just had a great nephew, I think a great nephew or nephew, who was born, and they are named Hunter. And so I'm seeing things, I think, from God or from whoever's in charge, whoever's in control. I just see that as a sign. So she would tell me, this coworker would tell me, yeah, it's just Frogs and Prince, you know. And she explained it like sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to meet your prince. And I think that's so very true. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. The other thing is I'm resurrecting my single era, which is so goofy to say, but this year is really a time for me to work on myself, and I don't want to get distracted or disappointed with the dating scene and dating life. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Everyone around me is getting married and having kids, and I'm just really awkward. I'm in the awkward position where that's just not me, and my life is not aligned for that yet. It's not in that same direction. I kind of have boobs now, by the way. Kind of. But I think I talked about everything, right? Oh, would I be caged in Alaska? I think I'll end on that thought. Yeah, I think that's it. But, would I be caged in Alaska? I don't know. I just prayed enough to know, to realize, to get the confirmation that Alaska is not for me. I don't know if it ever will be, and I know that I need to move on. And, yeah, so. Sorry again if I stuttered a lot. My mind has just been everywhere, and I've just not been able to get the words out right sometimes, but yeah, I think this too shall pass. I did a quote on Kelly Strack's newest makeup tutorial. I did a quote. Did I say that? I meant to say comment. I did a comment, and I was just like, this came at the most perfect time. I just broke up with somebody. You're such a light, Kelly, you know. And the comments were so sweet, and it's so amazing to think, like, there are other people going through breakups right now. They are too. And that's okay. And we'll find our people. We'll find our person. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So, don't want to end the video because I love making videos. Yeah. Before I used to have a hollow drum because I've gained weight. But now there's like a pouch. Okay. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. And before I blabber anymore, I'm just going to end the video right now, really impulsively. Okay, bye.